The CCTV footage shows an image from a camera mounted high up on a wall, looking across a grass area with shrubs, and beyond that, a road. On the right-hand side of the frame, what appears to be a knotted sheet hangs downwards, tightly up against the stone wall. A few seconds into the footage, a man is seen climbing down the knotted sheets before jumping the last 5 meters down to the grass. He quickly gets up and runs off across the grass, over the road, and disappears behind a wall. These images were the last anyone would see of Italy's most wanted fugitive for 11 months. Welcome back to Crime Chronicles. Today we will take a look at the crimes of Mafia boss Marco Raduano, his daring prison escape, and surprise capture after being on the run for almost a year. Stay tuned as we look at who might have helped him escape and the possible betrayal that led to his capture. Marco Raduano escaped from a high-security prison in Sardinia on February 24th of 2023. He committed his daring escape by stealing keys from prison guards, allowing him to gain access to the outside wall of the prison. In a scene reminiscent of a Hollywood film, he tied together bed sheets, fashioning a rope which he used to climb down the high stone wall circling the prison. His escape wasn't even noticed by prison staff until 2 hours later, when he failed to return to his cell. With this breathtaking escape, Marco Raduano became Italy's most wanted fugitive on Europol. Alongside the more well-known organizations, such as the Cosa Nostra and the Camorra, investigators have in recent years identified a criminal organization based in Puglia, which had operated largely under the radar as a fifth mafia. Raduano is the head of the Gargano clan, which operates within the Fifth Mafia, a relatively unknown criminal syndicate based in Italy's Puglia region, a coastal area that borders the Adriatic Sea. Raduano is revered by his peers for his ultra-violent methods, and was in the maximum security prison serving a 24-year sentence for various crimes, including involvement in a criminal organization, drug trafficking, and illegal possession of weapons. Europol said he was the main figure in the group and a ruthless killer responsible for carrying out murders, drug trafficking, and extortion. Prosecutors have stated that his group is known for feeding bodies to pigs to ensure no traces of evidence could be found. Since the 1970s, Raduano's group has reportedly been involved in the deaths of over 350 people. 80% of these deaths remain unsolved. This brazen escape of a high-value prisoner was obviously very embarrassing for the Italian authorities. In a statement given at the time, Deputy Minister for Justice Francesco Paolo Sisto stated that an escape of this kind is carefully prepared. You don't flee alone. We have yet to clarify whether fellow inmates or others helped him. It remains a disturbing episode, especially in that type of prison. You cannot be indifferent due to the seriousness of what happened and the dangerousness of the escaped subject. The ministry immediately ordered an administrative inspection, and all the staff of the institute were interviewed, and the facility was fully inspected. Sisto was quick to comment that shortness of resources, lack of personnel, and correct training may be at fault. Obviously, a more likely scenario may have been that a person or people within the prison may have been bribed to help facilitate the escape. We know that mafia organizations have almost unlimited resources when it comes to extricating their key members from incarceration. Raduano quickly became old news after the escape. He was top on the most wanted list, but nothing more would be heard from him. That is, until exciting news broke of his capture in early February. The end of the road for the man nicknamed Angel Face came on Thursday, February the 1st, just as he was about to dine with female company in an elegant restaurant in Bastia, Corsica. He thought he had lost the carabinieri who were on his trail after the prison escape. Images of his capture show a 40-year-old round-faced man, dressed in black, kept under control by a French gendarme, whose face is masked by a balaclava. Authorities involved in apprehending mafia suspects need to protect their identities in order to not become targets of reprisals. A quick check online shows that Raduano is no longer on the list of Italy's most dangerous fugitives, nor of Europol's most wanted. 5 Italian carabinieri accompanied gendarmes from the local branch of the Gendarmerie Search Section, or SR, for this operation. Raduano was immediately transferred to the premises of the SR on a secure military site, where he has since been questioned. The initial information gathered about his life on the island points to a discreet existence, living under a false identity but without depriving himself of social activities, such as this planned evening out at a restaurant accompanied by a young woman. After his capture, Italian authorities stated they had patiently worked on the list of people who could help him manage his escape, until they got close to discovering his location. Another group instrumental in Raduano's capture is the Italian ROS. This unit specializes in the fight against organized crime, and has recently been involved in the discovery of Matteo Messina Denaro, an important mafia figure who has remained at large and on the most wanted list for 30 years. After the blunder of having a mafia boss escape from prison by tying sheets together, the Italian authorities were very excited to have Marco Raduano back in custody, describing him as bloodthirsty, calculating, and determined. Italy's Interior Minister, Matteo Piandatozzi, hailed the arrest as another significant blow to organized crime. Raduano's reputation and mafia pedigree gives his capture added significance. Seemingly, as part of this same investigation, another key figure of Raduano's gang was also apprehended. Marco Raduano's right-hand man, Gianluigi Troiano, who fled house arrest in 2021 after detaching his electronic bracelet, was arrested around the same time as Raduano in Granada, Spain, while picking up a parcel from a service point. Anonymous sources have commented that these 2 highly choreographed arrests, involving multiple nations and authorities, must have come about with the help of someone on the inside of Raduano's organization. In much the same way as the Italian police and prison service launched an investigation after Raduano's escape, you can bet his mafia group is now questioning each other to see if they can find out who might have ratted him out. Criminal cartels have been affecting social, economic, and political life in Italy since the 19th century, and are still especially active on the southern part of the Apennine Peninsula. The most powerful of them was the Cosa Nostra in Sicily in the 19th century, but new ways of committing crime and new alliances have seen the shift of power to smaller mafia groups, such as Raduano's 5th Mafia. Police sources are clear that imprisonment of mafia leaders will not put an end to the existence of the cartel network, as every leader has a potential successor who will sooner or later replace him. However, by detaining the most powerful members of the mafia structure, the police are showing the whole cartel that everyone can be caught. Thank you for joining us today on Crime Chronicles. If you liked today's story, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more crazy stories from the world of crime.